Hi, I wanted to do a video of non-conventional Valentine's Day movies, but then movies and stew, movies, books, and stew. Um, I think that's how it is now. But she made a video about anti-Valentine's Day movies today, and I was like, uh-oh. But I have different movies. I mean, I have like one movie, literally one movie that is the same. So, I know you can watch mine if you want, and you can go to her video and get even more. So, maybe it will work out for the best. So, I'm going to talk about two that I don't own, and then go into the ones that I do. So I wanted to do 14 for Valentine's Day, and I'm pretty sure I did it. But the first one is 5 Feet Apart. Every time I mention this movie, I'm like, I used to own it, and then the Blu-ray got ruined, and so I bought it on Amazon Video. I don't have the physical anymore. But yeah, 5 Feet Apart is unconventional because it's two sick teenagers with cystic fibrosis and they can't touch and they have to be 6 feet apart from each other all the time. And I always sound weird, but it's a comfort watch for me now. Obviously the topic isn't, but I've seen it so much. And obviously I know how it ends, so it's not like I'm watching it and I'm like, it doesn't make me sad anymore. It just like, I put it on when I need something that I'm familiar with, and that I love Cole Sprouse. Okay. And I love him in this movie so much, and I love the soundtrack, and I think him and Haley Lee Richardson had perfect chemistry. So it's a love story, obviously, but it doesn't, it's not, again, unconventional. They can't touch, they can't, it's like really sad kind of movie. So that one. And then Buffalo 66 is a controversial because Vincent Gallo is in it, and he's not a good person. But you know who isn't a bad person? Kristen Ritchie. So she's in it, and she's great. And the movie is still the movie, even if somebody in that movie turned out not to be the greatest person. The movie has not changed. It's the same story, it's the same editing, it's the same acting, it's the same movie. So I'm not going to be like, this one actor is awful, so I'm not gonna watch this movie over again, or no one should watch this movie. No. No. Um, Buffalo 66, I haven't seen it in a while, to be honest, and I don't own it because I want to, I want to own it, but also I want to rewatch it first before I decide to buy it. I like it, I know I like it, but again, it's been a while, and sometimes, opinions change, but as of right now, I'm recommending Buffalo 66 because it's definitely anti-Valentine's Day. Anti. Like, you do not want that relationship in that movie. You don't want it. It's not a good relationship. But that's what makes it an anti-Valentine's Day movie, because a lot of romance movies, you're like, I want that. You don't want that relationship from Buffalo 66. And I can't really form why I love it so much. It's just one of those movies that I watched it and immediately it was like, I need to own this movie, but I don't own it, which is crazy. But again, I also want to make sure, So Buffalo 66. Now I'm going to go into movies that I do own. And the first is, this is in no order. I wanted to in order, but like I put them on my bed and they all like fell all over, and now I'm over it. So I'm just gonna go the movie that I see that I'm going to talk about. Tucker Everlasting. This was a last minute switch because I had Now Voyager on here, which is also a great anti-Valentine's Day movie, but my heart and my soul, I love Tucker Everlasting. Not more, but I just been in my life the longest, and it's one movie that I love so much. But what's crazy is that the first time I watched this, I was like 12, I think, and I didn't like it at all. And then when I got older, I rewatched it and I loved it. And it's one of my most watched movies now. I think it's beautiful. I think it's sweet. I think it's really good. But the premise of the movie is there's the Tuck family, and they found a spring that if you drink from it, you live forever. And then Winnie accidentally runs into Jess Tuck, played by, I always get it mixed up, Jonathan Jackson. I always got him confused with Joshua Jackson. Jonathan Jackson. And character, him, this guy here. And she ends up meeting him, and then her brother comes. I hate him. Actor, Scott Barstow. He comes and he takes her to her, because he thinks that she's like, they had a war. The Tuck family had a war with her family for a long time, so he thinks that she's just like her family, but she doesn't know anything about the spring. She doesn't know anything about the Tuck family. She doesn't know anything about them, but he thinks that she does, and so he kidnaps her basically and goes to their family home, and then from there she like integrates herself into the family, end up really liking her, and she likes them, and they develop a relationship, and it's really cute. But I'm not gonna say anything about that. But it's definitely Anti Valentine's Day. I mean, the romance is very like sweet and it's good, but then does not end well. So yeah. Next is Nerve. This movie, I don't know if it's good or not. I really don't. I don't really care. I love this movie so much. But this movie is about, I've seen it a lot. I don't remember her name. V. She's like Emma Roberts' character. She is like that typical girl in a movie that's like uptight and responsible. And then she has a best friend who's like the crazy one, and her best friend signed up for a game called Nerve, and you can either be a watcher or a player. And a watcher is somebody that can pay money for somebody and like make somebody do something when they pay them to, or you can be a player, which is I think it's so explanatory. You play Nerve, and you can, if you complete different things, you get a certain amount of money, and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier as you play. More dangerous, more extreme. And I did not remember Dave Franco's name, and again, I watched this a lot. I love a lot. But I think I just don't retain things sometimes, because I'm just like so, I just watched it so much, and I never really thought about what his name is, if I'm honest with you. Dave Franco's character. And they meet because her dare is to kiss somebody, make out with somebody, and he's in the diner with her. She's with her friend, and she sees him, and so she kisses him. And then it leads to eventually them going out all night doing things like what do I call it? Challenges. That's to go. Doing completing challenges together, and just driving all over New York and everything. So it's in New York. I'm like, you would think, again, I watched it so many times, but yes, New York, I'm pretty sure. But this is unconventional in the sense of how they meet and the circumstances that they are under. It ends okay. It ends good. I will say that, but it's unconventional in the way that how it starts and the way that they interact. How the relationship starts to happen isn't very unconventional. Let's see. Next is a walk to remember. I don't think I have to to explain how this is unconventional. I bought this and haven't rewatched it yet because it's one of those movies that I have to be in the mood to like want to cry, and I haven't been in that mood, so I haven't watched it again. Since I bought it on Blu-ray, I haven't even watched it. Haven't watched this in like, let's say, years. You watched this 5 times in the theater. That's crazy. I watched it 5 times in the theater, and then I actually did watch it quite a lot when it got on DVD, but I just haven't been in the mood for it in a little bit. But I will rewatch it, obviously, because I love this movie so much. But basically, Mandy Moore, it's just like, it's just, I don't know if it is or not. I didn't even say, like, he doesn't give anything away about what. It's just, there's a twist. I'm not gonna say what it is, I don't think. But there's a twist in the movie, and it changes everything in their relationship, and it does not end happily at all. But it's still a beautiful movie, and it is a good romance movie, but you have to be prepared to be really sad. So, yes, that's another one that I recommend. No, not him. Mandy Moore's here again. How to Deal. This is, if you want toxic relationship, watch How to Deal. But reminder, this is Anti Valentine's Day. Unconventional Valentine's Day. So, them being toxic actually makes a lot of sense. Same with Buffalo 66. But they're actually really cute, I will say. They were very cute. Before the toxicity happened. But you don't want this relationship either. It's like with Buffalo 66, you don't want that relationship, you don't want this relationship. But again, I love their chemistry. I think their chemistry is really good. So it's funny because you don't want them together, but you do want them together. So it's very complicated, I think. Well, at least I wanted them to. Even though they shouldn't be. But this, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I really, really don't. Mandy Moore. Okay, I'm reading the back so I can get a little bit of a, tell you what it is a little bit. It's kind of it's a weird movie, I will say that. A lot happens in this movie. Mandy Moore's character, Haley, doesn't believe in love, and then she meets, you know his name. I want to give me him giving me his name. I need Macon. Oh my god, Macon. No. Yes, it's Macon. I'm the worst. Yeah. So Macon is his name. I knew that. But yeah, it's basically her not believing in love, them meeting, and then stuff happens, But again, Anti Valentine's, they do it ends. I don't know if it's up to you if it ends in a way that you're happy with or not. That's all I'm gonna say. But it does end in a typical way, but the relationship is not a typical relationship that you would see in a romantic movie. And also, again, I don't think this is a relationship that you should want. But I just love this movie a lot. So do with that what you will, What inspired me to do this? Bud Court died yesterday. James Vanderbeek also died yesterday, which is really awful. And the thing is that I posted a tribute to James Vanderbeek on Instagram, and then I went back on Instagram like less than 5 minutes later, and I saw that Bud Court had passed away, and I was like, God damn it. And so I posted a tribute to him, obviously, after that. But then that made me really think about doing this. I wanted to do this, and then he died, and I was like, I need to actually do this. But what it is, or not. didn't get more unconventional of a like love story than Harold and Maude. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. And what's interesting, I'm watching Columbo right now. I'm also literally I'm watching Columbo right now. But Ruth Gordon was in an episode of Columbo, and I posted about it on my Instagram. I was like, "Oh, Ruth Gordon is in this episode of Columbo," and the next day he dies. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Um, but yeah, it has Ruth Gordon, Bud Court, obviously. This movie is about Harold, who not obsessed with death. He really isn't. He just has not the greatest of home life, and so he plays dead a lot. There's a lot of death pranks on his mother and everything. And then he meets Maud, who played with Gordon, and she is a much older lady, and they develop a relationship, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And Cat Stevens songs are this soundtrack is the most perfect soundtrack. I love every song in this movie. I like Cat Stevens, so that's good as well. But I love the disc. I love the art. Criterion is beautiful. And funny enough, I did a poll on Instagram, although only got like 2 votes, whatever. But it was like Picnic at Hanging Rock, Anti Valentine, and Lisa Finkelstein, and then only 2 votes, but Picnic at Hanging Rock did win. I was going to watch it for Valentine's Day, I really was. But then Bud Court died, so I'm going to watch this on Valentine's Day instead, because I need to watch it, and this is such a sweet story, so it doesn't end happily though. Just a warning. Does not end in a happy note at all, but this movie, it's a great top 10 favorite movies of all time. I've rewatched it so much, and it just, Bud Court dying, oh, he was 77 years old, so he was still young-ish, but he was getting up there, so obviously it was going to happen eventually, but I just can't imagine. But yes, Harold and Maude. And then my best friend's wedding, again, very unconventional. Doesn't end the way they think it's gonna end. And I think you can tell what the title, what this is about. But this one I was obsessed with when I first watched it. I watched it a lot. One of my most watched movies I own. But Julia Roberts, I think her name is actually Jules in this. Julianne, basically Jules. Basically her name. But Julianne, her best friend, played by Dermot Mulroney. Does anyone know how to say his name? I don't know. But he is him. He's getting married to Cameron Diaz. This isn't Cameron's first movie, but this when her career was starting to really take off here. And then Rupert Everett, who I adore and love very much. But he is getting married, like I said, he's getting married to her. And Julianne is jealous, and she decides at that moment that she loves her best friend. She didn't love him before, but she loves him now. But it's toxic. It's very, very, very toxic. And everyone who watches this movie is critical of it because they're like, she's a villain. That's the whole damn point of this. She's a villain. She's not. You're not supposed to be on her side. I mean, you might be, depending. You might think that she deserves to be with her best friend. I don't think that he loves her. That's the thing. People are like, he loved. I don't think he did. But it's such a. I think this movie can also cause a lot of discussion because again, there are people who think that he should have been like that he did love her, and there's people who don't think he did. There's a lot of discussion in this movie. Honestly, you might not think so, but I think there is, and I think if you watch it, you have other people watch it, that a lot of people they might have the same opinion, but I think you'll have very good discussion because this movie is very divisive a lot with people. So My favorite quote from this movie, I'm getting way away, I don't know. But Rupert's character, like she's talking to Rupert. Oh my god, I can't tell you because it's a big spoiler. Never mind. Watch the movie and then report back. But I love that movie, obviously. Lisa Fick. I don't know how unconventional Lisa it is. It was definitely unconventional. I was gonna say I don't know how unconventional it actually is. It's right, but it has Cole Sprouse, the love of my life, basically, and I think I love High Feet Apart so much. You have no idea, but Lisa Finkenstein has kind of dethroned it as my favorite Cole Sprouse movie. And he has a lot coming out, so I know there's gonna be another movie that probably dethrones Lisa Finkenstein. My favorite movie of his. I have seen I Was Shot the Best. I love that movie, but it's not gonna overtake Lisa Finkenstein. But Lisa Finkenstein, about this girl played by Katherine Newton, and her mother was brutally murdered. That's a lot, and she's kind of is she bullied? I don't think so. I think she's ignored, definitely, but I don't think she's like bullied or anything at school. But she's just kind of quiet, kind of a loner type of person. And then she goes to a graveyard. She gets like always in this graveyard, and she's talking to this buff. Got Cole Sprouse's grave. There's a bust of him on his grave, and that's cute. And so she goes there, and she's like talks to him and everything. And then one night it's a storm, and he, through circumstances, he comes back to life, and then they kind of go a little insane. They start. Anyone who wrongs her kind of does not. Yeah, he doesn't like that. So he takes care of it for her. But it's cute and it's funny, and Cole's adorable in this movie as well, I will say. So, Finkenstein. Next is Two for the Road. Albert Finney and Audrey Hepburn actually had a love affair during the filming of this movie. Fun fact, I don't know if it's fun, but it's fact. They had a little affair. Because Audrey was married. Albert, I don't think he was. I think he was divorced, but Audrey was definitely married. So, but I don't care. They had a little affair. Two for the Road is there's certain times in my life where I get sucked in. I think I've talked about this before, where I get sucked into a movie. I could have seen this movie before like more than once, but then one day I watch it and it like takes over my whole life. This happened with Two for the Road for a long time, because I used to do an Audrey marathon leading up to her birthday every year. I haven't done that in a long time. I don't know why I stopped. I really don't, but I don't do it anymore, but I used to. And whenever I would get to Two for the Road, I'd be like, ugh. I didn't like it for a long time. I don't know why. I just never connected to it. I thought it was boring. And again, one day I watched it and I was like, this is gonna be my whole personality for a long time. And I watched it, I had it on DVD, and I rewatched the DVD over and over again. I watched it with my mom and my stepdad, and they loved it. Like, I was just pitting everybody on this movie, and I was like, you need to watch it. But I love that. Funnily enough, I watched this so much, but I never noticed this. I'm really bad at paying attention to things. And then the disc. But basically, this is a movie showing the different stages of a relationship, and there's a lot of toxic moments between them. I will say that. But what makes it unconventional is the relationship itself. Their relationship is unconventional. It's not like lovey-dovey. It's not like sweet. It's very real, and it's very like there's a lot of arguing and fighting. At the beginning, it's really sweet. The relationship, they show it. The beginning, it's a very fun, sweet relationship. But they show them later. It's very, very. It's not the happiest. There's a lot of fighting and arguing and stuff like that. So it's not like one you're gonna watch and you're gonna be all warm and fuzzy watching it. It's very real. It's a very real like look into what a marriage can be like. Obviously, not every marriage is toxic and dramatic, but I think it's a unique look on what marriage could be. And then Have and Have Not. This one is crazy. That this is on here because Lauren Bacall and her people they met during this movie, and then they started one of the best romances of all time, my all-time favorite Hollywood couple. And it started in this movie. They met, they fell in love, and the rest is history from then on. But this is another one that I had on DVD. And I watched it here and there, And then one day I watched it, and again, it just like took over my life. And I was showing it to everybody, and I got obsessed. And then I got it on Blu-ray. I've only really watched it on Blu-ray like a couple of times. I need to change that. But I don't know how to explain this movie. It's not a romance at all, by either way. Not at all. Let's see. I don't really know how to describe. I'm not going to describe it because I don't know how to describe it. There's a lot going on in this movie, but the unconventional relationship during. I guess I could see what it was set during. Oh my god, what is it? What is it? Tell me what it's about. I don't know. I really don't. And I've seen it a lot, but I don't know. I don't really remember. There's some kind of thing going on. The French Resistance. There we go. French Resistance. It was set during the French Resistance, and so that's an unconventional time to fall in love. If I ever, there's over a time to be like that's unconventional time to fall in love. It's during the French Resistance. It sure is. Oh no, it's not. It says based on Casablanca. So I still don't really know what this is about. I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. I'm sure people who have seen it can tell me exactly what this is. But there's some kind of war going on, basically. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's not really it's not a romance movie at all. There's nothing romantic about it. But the relationship that develops between Lauren and Humphrey's character is beautiful. And again, this is when it started. And just watching them on screen sometimes makes me feel like I'm a third real. I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be watching them interact because it seems very intimate. And yeah, this isn't obviously, again, that's not a romance. It's just the reason I'm recommending it to you is because of the literal romance between them. You can see why they fell in love and why they got married and why they lasted until he died. Literally on the back, it says the movie that brought together Bogart and Bacall. So, history was made with this movie. But yes. And then I have 3 more. Bridges of Madison County. This is another movie that maybe when I thought of this, I thought of this. This is such a heartbreaking movie. first of all. And it's very heartbreaking. What happens is, Meryl Streep is married, and she has kids, 2 kids, and her husband and her kids go to a. I am really bad at explaining things, by the way, so I'm really sorry about all of this. They go to obviously it doesn't tell me because it knows that I'm not good at telling things are about. But anyway, her kids and her husband go to enter a calf or cows, something like that, into a fair. Do I understand any of that? I don't understand. I've seen this movie like countless amount of times, but I don't understand that life, so I don't really know. Anyway, so they're not there. Basically, the gist is her husband and her kids are not there they're going to be gone for 4 days. And Clint plays a National Geographic photographer. And he comes to her house because he's looking for the covered bridges at Madison County. So she goes with him to help him find the bridge that he's looking for. And then along the way, they fall in love and they have an affair, and sad. It's really sad. Like, I'm not saying affairs are good. I'm just saying that this is a beautiful, sad movie. And Clint Eastwood plays such a different type of person because he has to, because it's a romance in this movie that I've ever seen, and he's so like it's so sad. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But if you want to, I don't know if you, I did cry. This movie made me cry a few times. Like every time I rewatch it, it would make me cry. I hadn't made me cry in a while. I think I'm dead inside now because I've seen it so much. But I also watched it with my stepmom, my mom and my stepdad, and they also really enjoyed it. So yes, just know it's very sad. Next is Picnic at Hanging Rock. This is set on Valentine's Day, and this is another movie that I thought of, and I was like, I need to do this video, because this is definitely an unconventional Valentine's Day movie, because one, it's not a romance movie. It's about these schoolgirls who go on a picnic at Hanging Rock and in Australia, and then they keep going missing. These girls go missing, and it is stunningly, it's like beautifully shot, greatly acted. It's very eerie, and a lot of little things in it that are crazy in it. I don't know what else to say about it. I really don't. But when it came out, it was said that it was based on true events that happened in Australia. And let's see. And then it turned out that it wasn't. But I don't know. I'm Australian. I don't know the history at all. If you are, tell me if you know anything about it, because I read it wasn't true, and then I've also read that they don't know if it's true or not. So it goes back and forth every time I try to figure that out. But apparently, mostly what I read, it wasn't a true event. But anyway, because it happened in this is set in like 1900. So who knows? Maybe it did happen. I don't know. But apparently, I've heard it did. I heard it didn't. So I don't know. And then my last is Blue Valentine. And what's funny is Movie and Sue mentioned this, and I was like, God damn. But again, I do think I included movies that obviously she didn't talk about. So we are good. We're good. Um, but Blue Valentine, I actually used to watch it every Valentine's Day. Well, I should say, I used to watch Picking Hitting Rocket for a little while. I was watching it on Valentine's Day for a while, and then I watched Blue Valentine. This became my Valentine's Day movie. But I haven't really watched it in a couple of years, I would say, a few years. But this movie, here's the thing. Here is the thing. People will say, "Oh, I can't watch it again. It's too hard to watch. I can't watch it again." I don't know why, because to me, there are more sad movies. There are movies I want to see again. This is not one of them. I don't know. It's real. They say people, it's too real. It's too sad. I don't know. It just doesn't affect me like other people apparently. But this has Michelle Williams and Ryan Gosling, and they're married. It shows their relationship from the beginning, their marriage, and then they have a very up and down marriage, a very toxic relationship. But I just think it's one of the best acted movies. And there's romance, but there's a lot of heartbreak and drama, and I just think it's a real look at, again, like Truth Without the Fury. I really think that you should watch them both. Maybe you're gonna watch one with the other one, because watching Two for the Road and watching Blue Valentine, I'm like, obviously different settings and different circumstances and different years, so they could do more with this and they could with this, but again, this ends differently than this as well. But what I mean is, again, it shows like, beginning in the middle and all of the relationship. Same with this, and it shows the ups and downs and ups and downs, and again, it ends very differently. But I think the backstory, I think the look at not such a happy marriage and actual struggles in a marriage, I think they both show those very well in different ways. One ends in a better way, but I just think both movies really show how hard a relationship can be, and how a lot of the romance movies make it look like you get married and it's happy. You get together and it's happy. And it's like, sometimes, it could be that way. But for some people, it's not. Some people, they get married and they're stuck in this relationship that they love. They love the person, but it just doesn't work anymore. And they're both too scared to say it, because they do love each other. So it's complicated. It's like you love them, but you don't want to be with them anymore because they're not good for you. And I feel like this movie shows that really well. And I feel like this movie does that as well. But it ends differently. But also, this movie all kind of ends on not a cliffhanger, but doesn't like tie things up beautifully, That like, oh, they're really happy now. But this, such a beautiful movie, and that is all. And I rambled, and I know I got things wrong, and I'm sorry. But I tried my best, and I hope people watch these, and I hope that people like this video, and I hope people maybe you have movies that you like that are not considered like typical romance movies. And that is all. Goodbye.